Hello, all. It's your favorite math educator and joke commentator, Magi. Little bit of housekeeping before this episode of Magi's Mathematical Mayhem. You may have seen on the Observer Report playlist on this channel as well that both Pseudo and I were censured by the Collective Consensus Assembly of the Type 5 Alliance for calling them out on their BS with respect to gathering more data than they actually needed. Off a dying world line. Codename Flux, our boss, for lack of a better word, has already made a statement about how they will be handling the situation with the Assembly and finding out who has been corrupting it. Little bit of update, we did find that one of the Type 5 allies, who was supposed to be helping the Assembly with research for the benefit of all, had been embezzling funds from the Type 5 Alliance, and thus causing others to suffer for their own ends. Needless to say, we are having a minor war with them, the Hidden Gluttonous, and we suspect that they will eventually have all of their Type 5 capabilities removed and sealed back into their home universe sector to learn their lesson and try again. If they attempt aggression again, we will roll back the wave function of their universe back to a point particle and allow it to have a fresh big bang. Hopefully it won't come to that, though. More importantly, today's main goal is I was surfing the internet across multiple universe sectors, and I came across some material about how people were looking at mathematical pickup lines as a method of trying to attract the opposite sex, the same sex, or whoever else they were interested in. Personally, I think this is kind of a little bit of a dumb idea, but you know what? I'll try to be open-minded about this. So, with that being said, I have activated a Reader's Digest article on the 91 most interesting pickup lines that are supposedly going to work. I will take the first 5 of these pickup lines, read them out, and explain the math behind them. I will also then point out that not only are these pickup lines kind of stupid, but there are actually more efficient uses for math concepts in everyday life. I will, in particular, reference a video from a math channel that will be linked in the description below. When this memory report gets onto the Magi YouTube channel, of course. So, with that being said and the housekeeping out of the way, let's take a look at 5 of the 91 math pickup lines that will get you that QT pies number. Okay, going through. Want to meet up for coffee? I promise to be a perfect tangentleman. This is a pun on the tangent line to a function. Basically, if you take any function, mathematical whatsoever, if you plot a line running tangent, as in a specific, like, you know, at right angles or what have you, to this specific function at a specific point, you can tell how fast the function is changing, or the rate of its speed of change. This is also known as taking the derivative of the function to be able to measure the rate of change in position along the formula, along the function you're measuring. But now let's go to the actual pickup lines here. So, the first one, I hate fractions. Will you be my other half and complete me? This is relatively self-evident, but of course, as you know, 1/2 plus 1/2 equals a whole, so the implication here is that not only are you incomplete, but that the other person will, for lack of a better word, make you whole. This is not good for reasons of, primarily, self-help and self-worth development. One needs to be able to realize that they are whole in and of themselves, not a fraction with something missing. Us math nerds belong together. Can I call Q later? This is a pun on being a mathematician, and some math nerds, especially in fields like physics, need to have a calculator on, well, standby practically at any moment in order to complete their work. I'm going to jump down to see which ones I actually want to do here that are more interesting. Here's an interesting one. Are you the square root of -1 because you can't be real, but I can't imagine life without you? Square root of -1 is known as I, and it is also the basis for an entire system of numbers called complex numbers, which have a real part, A, plus the fictional, plus the imaginary part, B times I. This, to put it politely, this is a dumb pickup line, like the rest of them are, and not only this, it is a way too complex, if you get the pun, pickup line to use on most people. Let's see. You must be the square root of 2 because I feel irrational when I'm around you. This is a reference to the fact that the square root of 2 was actually the very first number to be proven irrational. This was done by a descendant of, a disciple of Pythagoras, and the man was killed for it, and the Pythagoreans kept this secret from the outside world for a very long time. Let's see. Oh, here's an interesting one. Go on a date with me and we can make our own math equation. 1 + 1 = less than 3. Yeah, editor's note, yes. Well, this one's self-explanatory. Less than 3 is a expression for a heart. Now, let's see if I can find one more that might be interesting here. Here we are. You must be the square root of -100. You are a solid 10, but too good to be real. Again, another complex math joke. And finally, let me scroll down here and give you one more. Where was it? There was one specifically I was looking for. Mostly bad puns. I know my math, and I'd say you have a significant figure. This could be a remark on a person's voluptuousness. It could be a remark on their weight. It also references the fact that after a decimal point, any new digit added after a decimal point is what is called a significant figure, because this is how many figures of precision you have on any given calculation or measurement. The last one I'm going to give you is, I am not a mathematician, but I'm pretty good with numbers. Can I have yours? This is an implication you can memorize the number and is pretty self-evident. Now, I will cover why I personally think all of these math pickup lines are rather stupid, all things considered. I will, of course, link math textbooks for calculus, physics, and complex numbers in the description when this gets to 5.7 Alpha on the YouTube channel. But there are actually far better ways to use math concepts in everyday life, such as a video I saw, which I will link below, about actually a man who understood calculus racing his children in Mario Kart 8, and he was able to show that by the difference of curves, without even having to plot any formulas or functions, you can actually tell that the quicker acceleration car with lower top speed can actually outrun a car with a higher acceleration and top speed, because of the fact that eventually you have already hit your top speed with the lower acceleration car, and thus will be traveling at constant speed while the other car is still accelerating and getting up to speed. Therefore, the first car mentioned pulls ahead and wins the race. Either way, I will link everything in the video description once this memory report is assigned to 5.7 Alpha under the Magi's Mathematical Mayhem playlist. And in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed these little explanations. There will be further reading for further education and, well, entertainment for the students watching. And in the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed another episode of Magi's Mathical Mayhem. In the meantime, bye-bye for now.